Hello guys, my name is Piers and today we're going to see how local development can be easy when you're working with Azure Service Bus. There is an Azure Service Bus emulator. I'm in the GitHub page of that project, and it has some very easy instruction to set it up. I am on Windows, so all I need to do is to allow execution of unsigned scripts with that command, and then launch an emulator. We will do that and then we see what it does under the hood. So I have already downloaded the project. I'll have it open in my Visual Studio. So under Service Bus Emulator folder, scripts and then Windows, we have our launch emulator PS1. So I'll open a terminal. I'll copy and paste that first command. Okay, I'll hit yes. I will say yes. Then I'll go and now I will run the launch emulator PS1. So I'll say yes. Then it will ask me for a password. Let's put something like a strong password in here. Okay, and as you can see, it runs two containers and one network. So if I go to my containers, I'll see we have a Microsoft Azure Service Bus Emulator with a SQL Edge image and the Service Bus Emulator image. So let's see what that command did. We have in our project here under Docker Compose templates a Docker Compose default, and as you can see, it's a Docker Compose YAML file that defines two services: the emulator and the SQL Edge, and also defines a network. So what we did is provide the SQL password for here, and one other thing is that it mounts a volume to the emulator service. So if I go to service emulator config, I can see a config .json file that defines some stuff about our service bus. For example, you can see that it defines a queue named queue.1. It has some properties and also defines a topic with a name topic.1, etc. So all it did is run the Docker Compose file and mount that configuration so you can have some queues and topics to start up. So you don't have to run the script. You can run a Docker Compose app, or you can hook it up with Aspire if that's how you develop microservice locally. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just an image. So now that we have it running, let's test it. I'll open an empty web project. I will install the azure.messaging.servicebus nugget package. So azure.messaging.servicebus. Okay, and I'll create two endpoints, one for publishing a message and one for read the message from the queue. So I will say app.mapPost. Let's say it's send. Okay, so let me go back to the project from that GitHub, and that project also has a demo project. It's under sample code snippets, and it has a console application. I will go to program and I will just copy that connection string. Okay, so now I will create a client. That's not necessarily how you publish and receive messages. It's just a demo to showcase the emulator, not best practice about using Azure Service Bus. So I will create a client, and maybe I will say await using since that is disposable var client equals with new service bus client. I will paste the connection string. I will also create a sender, so await using var sender with client.create sender, and I'll pass the queue name, and as we saw in that configuration file, the name is q.1, so q.1, and I have a typo in there, and I will say var message equals with new service bus message, and I'll say hello emulator and a comma in there, and finally I will publish that message. So await sender dot send message async, and I'll pass my message and I will return OK. So return results.ok. So let's create again the endpoint for retrieving that message. So it's a map get. I will say receive. Again, I will have the client, but now I want a receiver, so that's a receiver, and client.create receiver, and I have another typo. Now the message will come from that receiver, so I will say await receiver dot receive message async, and finally let's return results.ok and the message. So I will say encoding, where is that? There it is, dot utf8 dot get string, and I will pass the body of the message, so message dot body, because that body is in binary data. So I will debug that. I'll also open Postman, so I will hit send so we can publish our message, and I get it not found, and that's because I ran the app before mapping that endpoint. So let's fix that. So I'll run it again. I will hit send. We'll get back at 200, and now so we publish our message, it's in that queue. So now we'll try to receive that, and as you can see, hello emulator. So that was it. I think to have a local emulator for Azure Service Bus is great when it comes to local development. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching and have a nice one.